You know, I have such great access to medical. It's good to be president, I guess.
It seems like Donald Trump made a really good case for universal health care the other day.
It's a lot easier for me than somebody that's, doesn't have access to a doctor so easily, where it's a big deal to see a doctor.
You sure did, Ali.
The doctors at Walter Reed were incredible.
Last weekend at Walter Reed Medical Center, President Trump received the highest degree of health care in the world, and it was on the taxpayer's dime.
This is an incredible hospital, Walter Reed.
According to the New York Times, the treatment that the president received would have cost the average American at least $100,000 in medical expenses. That estimate is on the low side.
I'll be the doctor here, and I promise you, no copay.
Okay. Sounds good to me, Mark.
Senator, good to see you. You tweeted, Mr. Trump, guess what? The Walter Reed Hospital you were at, where you claimed you got excellent, high-quality care, that is a 100% government-funded, government-run, dare I say, socialist facility.
What they're doing is socialized medicine, and it's not acceptable.
You and I know, Senator Sanders, where I come from in Canada, everybody gets the same health care, and everybody pays the same for it. That's not the case in America.
They want to go socialized medicine. Socialized medicine.
What Trump's illness and treatment tell us is that healthcare is a human right. It's not a job benefit. Everybody, rich, poor, young, old, is entitled to healthcare, to a medical.
It's good to be president, I guess.
Seems like Donald.
Morning, everybody. Mark's Conte report. Yeah, baby. Good morning. Morning. My mom is working. Look at us, man. Look at us. Just look at us. Would you look at us? Would you look at us? Good morning, everybody. Mark's Conte reporting. So, so happy Sunday. It's a Sunday in the morning. I was going to go out and walk. I was going to walk and talk. But it seems like there's a lot of good material for video. Got a lot of visual material that I wanted to show today. And I wouldn't do justification to walk around. I may walk around later on. Sunday in New York. Tomorrow's a holiday. Tomorrow is some kind of voter fucking thing or something. What is tomorrow? Columbus Day or something? I don't know. Tomorrow is a holiday. Election Day? No. Tomorrow. Holiday. What is the holiday? Tomorrow is Columbus Day. Oh, man. Remember Christopher Columbus, the racist? Christopher Columbus's day is tomorrow. Maybe we'll go up to the Columbus Monument, Columbus Circle here in New York City, and see if the radicals are going to step on Columbus on his favorite day. So today we're going to talk about some stuff. I want to give an update on the Jews in Brooklyn being discriminated against for racial discrimination and religious discrimination because they're Jew and they're having their holiday, and de Blasio is trying to shut down their holiday parties because it's too big of a gathering because of the COVID, the deadly disease, and the Jews are fighting back. But so is Cuomo. So we'll look at the developments there. White House gives Trump a green light, totally green light. Says no longer a transmitter of anything. Trump is good to go, intensifying his campaign speech. And an interesting piece I was just playing a second ago is Bernie Sanders' ad, where you watch it and you listen to Trump in his own words make the case for universal health care. It's a pretty interesting article. Joe Biden flips on fracking. You remember the fracking? What else? So a couple other stories. We're going to look at Rachel Maddow's apartment for sale in New York City. Whoa. And scary images of Kim Jong-un, a tearful Kim Jong-un in North Korea, flexing his muscles with weapons of mass destruction, it looks like. Big fucking bombs, It looks like worship of the bomb. The bomb comes out and all the people scream and cry and yell and cheer and say, oh my God, the bomb. Remember in the Planet of the Apes? Remember the Planet of the Apes where the humans, not the apes, but the humans that were still on the planet, right? They were high-functioning human that survived the blast. Right, and they worship the bomb. They got one bomb left, right? And I think that's what North Korea is. Right? I might be wrong about that. Anyway, and looting, ripping the high fuck out of New York City. is now acceptable. Right? You're not going to believe this story, right? People, the blacks, right? They're black, right? As long as their hands are black and you can see a little black skin, they're being allowed to loot high-end boutiques in the Soho district of New York. Walk in, load up the truck, and walk out, and that's acceptable, right? Because then they'll be smeared as racist. What are you, racist? Oh, you're racist. No big corporations want to be labeled as racist from the Black Lives Matter, so they let them steal. That's crazy, right? A very unknown thing in China that it's like 2 million people right now, mostly Muslim descent, in China, in a section of China that are being exterminated. Not only that, but they're selling their hair, they're slaves, they torture them, they kill them. 2 million people. Where's the Hasids screaming Holocaust, Holocaust, Holocaust? Where's the human rights people? Where they're chopping off their hair and selling it. And I want to end on, are we living in a communist, is what we're seeing a communist takeover? Is that what's going on? If the Democrats win, are we moving towards a communist, socialist setup in the U.S. where life as we know it will be very different? There's an interesting article that I read by a gentleman named Doug Casey that we'll take a look at. And so for now, kindly go to marcusconte.com. That's how this survives. That's how we keep floating. They're all gone, but we're still here. I'm still here after all this time, still fighting 3.5 years later, still telling the truth, still being suppressed, waiting for the great leap forward. Waiting for the great leap forward. But while we're waiting, kindly become a Patreon of this channel by clicking the Patreon button right here, join. And you, for $2 a month, you can do that, or you can drop some coin in the tip jar via PayPal, electronic money. And if any videos get deleted here, like today, who knows, man? I might say something and YouTube decides to knock it down, or some couple of jerk-offs think it's funny to try to challenge it and all that. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore, right? If they take it down, we just move it over to BitChute, right? Move over and we have a large collection of deleted videos, which makes them even more appealing. People like that shit. Oh, these are the ones that got deleted. Let's check them out, man. Oh, fucking. And then you watch the video and you're like, what was that all about? Why did they knock it down? Because it doesn't make sense. But anyway, so kindly become support the channel. Support. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Vinny D. Martini. On the wrench, don't be a dick. Or the wrench will wrench you, will adjust, put itself on you and correct you. It will tighten your bolt. So don't fuck around in the chat. You know, being a dick is talking about yourself. It's coming in here and trying to derail we know what it is, right? We know what it is, right? The LARP jerk-offs, right? They come in here and they try to take over your chat, right? But we figured that out. We just shut them down, quiet them down, and come in here and speak your mind, for sure. We definitely want to hear from you. Everybody else is here. Truth in Politics, Ban Everything, Bebop, Chris Milk, Patcom, is Business. Fuck that one up. Johnny Heff, he is here. He's been here for a long time, man. He's following my ass around for years. I remember the fucking guy. JB C. Bradley, Weevil Girl. Hello, Weevil Girl. So everybody's here today. And let's let other people get into the room, and let's go. So the other day, it seems like a popular video that we did about the Hasids fighting back. Actually, not even fighting back, but leading the charge in the anti-mask hysteria, in the anti-lockdown hysteria. Where else in America are you seeing it? You're seeing some stray Trump people getting out there and saying, "Oh yeah, this is bad. Oh no, they're out in the parking lot of Kmart, 6 feet apart." And that's about the only show of strength. But when they're told to shelter in place and lock down, like you're seeing now in some universities are actually using that, training their student stooges to shelter in place when we say so. That was supposed to be a rule. Remember now, whenever you hear shelter in place, that was a rule used for COVID-19 lockdown to prevent the spread, to flatten the curve. Now it's like, just lock the fuck down because we say so. That's where we're going. We're moving in that direction. And the Jews, the Hasids, are drawing the line. They're connecting the dots to the Holocaust of Europe, where they were told to fall in line, all their rights were taken away, and such. And ultimately, they were, killed and or threatened to be killed, and they had to flee their home country. Right? Because they wouldn't play by the rules. Right? The Jews speak up. So what's going on right now is that the courts in New York are backing Cuomo to allow Cuomo and the establishment to shut down religious practices in the yeshiva community, in the Hasid, in the Orthodox Jewish community over here in Borough Park and a few other areas in New York City, where the Hasids like to live. They live together as a community, together. Birds of a feather are being ridiculed and being told that they can't have more than 10 people in the temple, which is during a religious holiday. They're in full steam right now. You're not going to see them come out and protest because they're doing their religious thing that they've done for thousands of years. And now suddenly Cuomo thinks that he can step in and change their behavior. They're not bothering anybody. Why do you care if someone screams Ali Akbar or Haka Haka Maka Maka up and down and worships the book? Who cares? What does that have to do with anything that, what does that have, what negative impact could that possibly have on American values? Religious freedom? Oh, no, but they're super spreaders. No, you got to shut them down. So let's read. So a federal judge refused Friday to block New York's plan to temporarily limit the size of religious gatherings in COVID-19 hotspots. U.S. Judge Kiyo Matsumoto issued the ruling after an emergency hearing in a lawsuit brought by rabbis and synagogues, arguing that the restrictions were unconstitutional. They had sought to enforcement delayed until at least after the Jewish holy days of this weekend. The rules limit indoor prayer services to 10 people in areas where the virus is spreading fast. In other areas within hotspots, indoor religious services are capped at 25 people. So clear religious discrimination. Everywhere it's 25, which nobody pays attention to anyway, especially in the Hasidic community. They're not gonna abide by this. What are you gonna do? I want to see Cuomo and the new NYPD walk into a synagogue and start arresting people for having too many people in there. I want to see that. That shit's not gonna happen. Right? It's not gonna fly. Right? You want to talk about? You want to see an uprising? Try that and see what happens to you in the Orthodox community. The restrictions apply in 6 designated areas in New York City. Ruling from the bench. I want to just see where Cuomo says it. Targeting of a religious minority on the eve of its holiday is reason enough to reject all of defendants' arguments and allow plaintiffs to celebrate their holidays this weekend as they have for 2,000 years. The group argued in court, the synagogue people. Roman Catholic Diocese of Brooklyn also filed a lawsuit challenging the restrictions. So they shut down Catholic schools in the area as well. So religious discrimination. The Democratic governor's attorney argued in court filings he didn't single out the Orthodox community for negative treatment, but instead clarified that this community would not receive special treatment. And he argued that houses of worship receive more favorable treatment than non-essential businesses in virus zones. So Cuomo flips a big fuck you to the stands by his law. Are the laws enforceable? Well, let's see if NYPD moves in and shuts down synagogues this weekend. Is there any reports of synagogues being shut down? Will the Hasid standing out in front of the synagogue allow the police in? Will they lay down and say, get the hell out of here? Well, it's past Saturday, so the Saturday is the Holy Sabbath, and Sunday you won't see them walking around. They're in the temple. So if the damage was done, it was done on Saturday, and then they're walking around on Sunday. So just follow up on the story. It's a move towards communism. It's a move towards shelter in place. Do as you're told. Do as you're fucking told, man. Did we ever think we'd live to this time? Did you ever think in your lifetime you would live in an America that was heavily censored, heavily dictated by radicals left, radicals right, radicals, fucking radical thinking? Did you ever think that would come to that? Did you always see, as a kid, I always thought free speech was guaranteed, and freedom of the press was guaranteed, that you were mostly getting truth and honesty. But today, no more. We're living in very tumultuous times. A super power grab is happening right before our eyes. The elections don't matter, really, right? Or do they? Right? Fake elections. It's just crazy, right? With the evidence, real evidence. So let's talk about Trump. Morning, everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Mostly current events today. We're just going to skim the news. And then I'll be out. Maybe I'll go to Brooklyn, say hello to the Jews. They don't like you, man. They don't like you coming into their neighborhood, shining a camera on them, because they feel like you're probably exposing them, right? You're filming a crowded synagogue, and that's grounds for the police to come in and shut it down. So you got to be very respectful. That's why they don't want you there filming, right? So White House doctor says Trump no longer at risk of transmitting the coronavirus. All right. All right. So someone say in the chat today, the WHO backflipped on virus stance by condemning lockdowns. Drop the link. I'll take a look at it. We'll talk about it. Talk about it at the end. Just drop the link. And we'll see. We will see. So statement posted at 8:50 last night. Trump's personal physician, Sean Conley, said the president meets CDC criteria for the safe discontinuation of isolation, is no longer considered a transmission risk to others, and that advanced diagnostic tests show there is no longer evidence of actively replicating virus. Okay, so Trump is cured. Trump, maybe in another day or two, he'll actually test negative for one of the fake tests, and then he could say, "See, I'm negative." So it's as if nothing ever happened. That's what coronavirus is. You see, it's like a flu. It's not like AIDS that stays with you like for the rest of your life, like luggage. It doesn't stay with you. It passes and it's gone, right? Chris Christie out of the hospital, no deaths. The whole shit that hit the White House, hit the Republican Party, hit the bigwigs the bigwigs, has had no lasting effect at all. It's just a couple of people got some runny nose. Trump, in his own words, said, "I felt a little tired. I felt a little run down." That's all. That was his symptom. No cough, no sneezy coffee, no shitty pissy in his pants. Nothing. No death, no ventilator. Just a cocktail of some high ass medications, and Trump is good to go. And he plans to intensify his campaign schedule. Will be speaking at battleground states. President Trump on Saturday added a pair of critical battleground states. Trump guarantee, today's the 11th, Trump is going to go every single day. He's going to hit every fucking giant airport in the U.S. and hold rallies right out on the tarmac. He's going to fly in, get off the plane, talk, get back on the plane. Something that Biden cannot do. Biden can't do it because there's no enthusiasm. Can Biden still win? I don't know, man. It definitely, the cheating factor, the cheat is in. The fix is fully in for Biden. And the Republicans have gotten soft over the years. Are the Republicans going to fight as hard to keep Trump in as the Democrats are to smear him out? I don't think so. I think the Democrats will fight harder to get rid of Trump by cheating in every single democratically held stronghold. Just cheat. They got nothing to lose. There's no consequence anymore to cheating. So Trump will headline a Make America Great Again rally in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Tuesday, and another one in Des Moines, Iowa. All right. Trump won both states, Pennsylvania, by just 0.7%, 0.7%, less than 1%. Trump won Pennsylvania. That is fucking razor close, man. And they got I believe they have a Democratic. Pennsylvania has a Democratic governor. Governor of Pennsylvania. Governor, yeah, Tom Wolf. Tom Wolf is an American politician, a member of the Democratic Party. So so a Democratic governor. Watch Pennsylvania. Watch for the cheat. If you want to see cheating, look in Pennsylvania. 20 electoral votes up for grabs, and an incumbent Democratic governor, right, will cheat like a motherfucker, just like Cuomo cheats in New York, right? So you got to watch that. Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know who the governor is over there, but Trump will probably win Iowa, possibly New Hampshire, but the Rust Belt. So Trump is on the tear. Trump is on the tear, and here's this is wonderful, right? So if you're here and you're wondering why I said Trump on universal health care, well, here's an interesting argument made by, you remember that guy Bernie Sanders? Remember the guy who lost, that got cheated or whatever in the primaries? The Democrats stabbed him in the back. They did it once when he ran against Hillary Clinton in 2016. Cheat. Blame Russia. Blame Julian Assange. Blame anybody. Blame Trump. Right? Fucking Russians. Remember that guy Bernie Sanders? Well, he had this idea. He had this quintessential idea that if you give universal single-payer health care, if you give health care to all people, you create a healthier, less stressed-out society. And here's Trump, in his own words. He's going to make the argument for universal health care. Not for you, but watch how he praises it for himself. This is brilliant.
Great access to medical. It's good to be president. You know, I have such great access to medical. It's good to be president, I guess.
It seems like Donald Trump made a really good case for universal health care the other day.
It's a lot easier for me than somebody that's, doesn't have access to a doctor so easily, where it's a big deal to see a doctor.
You sure did, Ali.
The doctors at Walter Reed were incredible.
Last weekend at Walter Reed Medical Center, President Trump received the highest degree of health care in the world, and it was on the taxpayer's dime.
This is an incredible hospital, Walter Reed.
According to the
Sounds like socialism to me. What do you think?
New York Times, the treatment that the president received would have cost the average American at least $100,000 in medical expenses. That estimate is on the low side.
I'll be the doctor here, and I promise you no copay.
Okay. Sounds good to me, Mark.
Senator, good to see you. You tweeted, Mr. Trump, guess what? The Walter Reed Hospital you were at, where you claimed you got excellent, high-quality care, that is a 100% government-funded, government-run, dare I say, socialist facility.
What they're doing is socialized medicine, and it's not acceptable.
You and I know, Senator Sanders, where I come from.
It's only acceptable for Trump, right? You see the point? Right? We need a system in this country to disarm the pharmaceutical lobby, to disarm the insurance companies, and give people basic human health care. That's all. Not extraordinary, tremendous, amazing, unprecedented health care, but basic access to a doctor if you're sick, basic access to a dentist if your tooth has fallen out, basic access. That's all we're talking about here.
I'm from in Canada, everybody gets the same health care and everybody pays the same for it. That's not the case in America.
They want to go socialized medicine. Socialized medicine.
What Trump's illness and treatment tell us is that healthcare is a human right. It's not a job benefit. Everybody, rich, poor, young, old, is entitled to healthcare. Your Medicare for all single-payer program. And that idea is gaining more and more momentum every day, especially because of this pandemic.
I feel so good. We have these great doctors at Walter Reed.
Let me just say this for the umpteenth time. What I am talking about, what Ali is talking about, is not radical. It exists all over the bloody world. What we are doing is radical. What we are saying is you don't have health insurance because you have a bad job. That is crazy stuff.
The work they do is just absolutely amazing. The equipment was incredible. I've never seen equipment like this before.
Well, ordinary people, it's not only that they're uninsured or underinsured. They go to the doctor and they find out they thought they were covered, they're not covered. They have to pay out of pocket. 500,000 people go bankrupt because of medically related bills. People go crazy filling out forms. Doctors are sick and tired of having to pay attention to the insurance companies rather than their patients. This system is dysfunctional. It is cruel. It is wasteful. We've got to join the rest of the world, move toward a Medicare for all type program.
Wow, so Bernie Sanders is still out there fighting for you. Right? That was put out yesterday. But look how sad Bernie Sanders, the world famous Bernie Sanders, who got millions of votes in 2 primaries, only got 6,000 views on his YouTube channel. That's pretty sad. He's got 409,000 subscribers and only 6,000 views overnight. That's a fraction, right? 409,000 subscribers, and he can't even get 6,000 views. He barely gets 6,000 views. What does that tell you? It tells you right ideas, wrong guy, right? Because he had the right idea, and there it was. The side-by-side comparison to Trump's idea of healthcare, right? It's amazing. It's tremendous that we have such tremendous medicines, and I've never seen equipment like this, Trump is saying. But most people don't have access to it. Only you have access to it. So let's do a scaled-down version of it. Let's have all people have access so that they, too, can feel comfortable in their own skin, so that they, too, can enjoy their lives without risk of going bankrupt or dying of a terminal illness when there was a simple cure, simple preventative measure. Right? It's not too hard to do. Right? So let's. This is cool, right? So it's actually rather disgusting. So Rachel, the lesbian number one, wants $2.35 million. The executive lesbian wants $2.35 million for rock star Manhattan apartment. Wow, $2.3 million for her apartment. See how the media hushes you, right? So CNN or she's MSNBC, right? They hire her, and she's a radical liberal lesbian. Oh, fucking people love her, right? She was good. Rachel Maddow was a rock star in 2005, 2004, 2006, in the age of Keith Olbermann. Remember Keith Olbermann? They were crazy and they were rock stars when Obama was running, and arguably were instrumental in getting Obama elected by constantly broadcasting and or supporting the Obama run for the presidency. Remember Rachel Maddow back in the day? She was very influential. Now she's a laughingstock and a mockery, and she makes a mockery of herself and everybody she comes in contact with because she works for the fake news and everybody knows it, and she keeps saying the same stack of lies, especially of late with Russiagate, because of the media, because of the corruption of money. But let's see how she's living. How is Rachel Maddow living, according to the New York Post? So here's her rock star apartment. We'll take a look. You want to see it? Let's take a video. Here's a video. Well, let's just get a little background. So it's 2,650 square foot, $2.35 million. She purchased it for $1.25 million from the REM guy. Remember Michael Stipe? In 2010. It's in the West Village on charming Jane Street. So that's right around 14th Street. That's right around the meatpacking district. A very nice neighborhood. Very, very, very nice to live in. I didn't know she lived there. I thought she was on the Upper West Side. I think she's in both, actually. But I think she probably has a place in both. But she's selling. She is selling. Brown Harris Stevens broker put up a video to her. So let's look at the video. Video speaks. So you ready? Lesbian love. Look at this place. 130 Jane Street, 4 CD. They're not holding back on her address, so if you want to go knock on the door. You know what's funny? This video got as many clicks as Bernie Sanders got for universal health care. Got 6,000 views. Same, man. Let's watch. Ooh, nice. 6 lesbians at one table. Beautiful. Now, this is New York City. Everything is tight. Look, it's got a fireplace. That's beautiful. Everything in one room. I got the art. Well, this is. There's no personal touch because the apartment, they're out. The lesbians have left the building. Beautiful refrigerator, frigidaire, a bathroom. Oops, we can't see. And some shit going on over here. I don't know what that is. That's probably the bathroom. Yes. Rachel Maddow had some boom boom. That's the best boom boom. Wooden floors. See the boom. Where's the boom? I love boom boom. Ooh, nice view out the window. You can see the water. You can see the Hudson River out there. Look how many pillars that is. Oh, the boom boom shower. Walk-in closet. Oh, man, we should all be. This is what you get for lying. Give you the lap of love. Do the bidding of the establishment. Look at that view. That's across the water from New Jersey. That's the Hudson River. Very nice. The west side of New Jersey. Wow, man. Fucking Rachel Maddow, man. See, crime is good, man. Crime is good, right? It's not, I call it a crime. When you lie to the people like that, you're lying to the motherfuckers, you're lying to the whole country. This shit is lying, man. It's bad. So check this shit out, man. Check this shit out. Kim Jong-un. You saw this video stuff, this footage of Kim Jong-un? Shit was crazy, man. Where's the video? There's a video somewhere. Where's the video? Yeah, where's that video? There was a video of Kim Jong-un. These are photos. Let me see. Let's see, maybe we can get back to the video. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let's watch the parade. Let's watch the parade. The Kim Jong-un parade is scary. It's a little scary. It's a lot of bombs and shit, right? They fucking... So North Korea missile shit. Watch this. The audio is choppy, so we'll just watch it without the audio. So wow, look at this, man. Bomb. A parade. See how they're worshiping the bomb? It's like you see up off on the right, they're worshiping the bomb. It's like the Planet of the Apes. You remember when the humans that escaped they went underground and they escaped the raft of the apes, and they were down there with the bomb. They had one of these things, right? And they fucking worship the bomb. The bomb. Look at that, man. It's a human wave of worshiping the bomb. Right? And if you don't worship the bomb, right, in a place like this, they chop your head off, man. They cut your dick off, and they kill you, man. That's what they do, right? Same thing with China, right? China has a very similar thing. Are we coming to that? Is my thought. Are we coming to this ultra-patriotism, ultra-totalitarian world? Well, Trump is certainly, a champion of that, and the radical left seems to be pulling it in a different direction. I don't know, man. I don't know who's right, who's wrong anymore. It's hard to tell. Here he is. Here he is, Kim Jong-un. Fat boy, still alive, right? All the rumors that he was dead. If that doesn't say totalitarianism, if that doesn't say tyranny, I don't know what does. There's plenty of people that are apparently starving. They did it at night, too, I guess, to not maybe show the backdrop, show some fireworks going off. They say a lot of those buildings are fake. A lot of those buildings in the back that look like a skyline are actually fake. They live in huts, the North Korean people. But it's scary. It's a scary show of force. What does it mean? Is that I thought they weren't allowed to have nukes. And look at all those people cheering on the nuke. Look at those people, man. No masks. No masks. So this is the party. If you're not aware, is is that even a real shot? Look at that imagery right there. Is that real? is that real? Right? I mean, is part of it, is the outskirts of this, are these buildings real? That we're told that they're not real. So anyway, let's just read a little bit. North Korean Kim Jong-un couldn't hold back his tears while giving an emotional address during a massive military parade held in the pre-dawn Saturday to mark the 25th anniversary of the country's founding. The portly despot, he's not a despot, began blubbering when he thanked the great people of North Korea for 0 cases of COVID-19. 0. I wish good health to all the people around the world who are fighting the ills of the evil virus, he said. David Maxwell, a North Korean specialist at the Foundation for blah, 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 told the Post, I wouldn't be duped by Kim's emotions. Oh, yeah? Let's look at the pictures, because the pictures are wonderful. Look at this, man. Look at this show of strength. Look at this show of strength. Bombs, missiles. Pow, pow, boom, the bomb. Ah, go a little goose step. It's never complete until you got soldiers with Uzis goose stepping across the promenade. Look at this, man. Space suits and gas suits, right? For chemical fighting. Right? All the different branches of the army. Look, they got the gas fighting in dark. Shit is no bullshit there, right? People falling in line, regular people, and they're goose stepping away, right? Kim unveiled a series of strategic weapons, including a new intercontinental ballistic missile at the parade. So all they need to do is strap on a nuke. Screw it on. It's a screw on, right? The nuke is a screw on. It screws on the top of this. See this shit right here? See this, the cap? That's the fucking bomb, right? They pop off the empty one and they put on the nuke. Or it probably is a nuke. Who even knows, right, at this point? So they are fully mobilized, King added. Trump is the only U.S. president who will ever sit with North Korean leader. Trump is pretty good for Kim, and Kim is pretty good for Trump. If Biden wins, Kim would have to start all over again. So very, very interesting stuff. Look at these images, man. These fucking images. How did all these images get out? They got out because they wanted them out. Oh, fat boy. Oh, fat boy. I am fat. Those are people making those stars and stripes. People. Those are the tried and true. Look at this shit, man. Yeah, so they say a lot of these buildings in the background are fake. They're just fake facades. Tanks. Get your head out of the way, man. We're trying to see the pictures. Oh, they're crying, right? Because if you don't cry, they chop your head off. They chop your head off in Pyongyang, wherever they are. Look at that old car, man. It's that old U.S. car. Looks like a Cadillac or a Lincoln. Look at this, man. They chose an old American fucking American shitbox, a convertible, to ride down the center of their. Oh, and they're so happy. So what's going on in North Korea, man? I don't know. So, good morning, everybody. No masks in North Korea. And would you believe it that there's no COVID-19? No COVID-19 in North Korea. So check this shit out, man. So stealing Soho. Luxury retailers terrorized by shoplifting mobs. Ooh, why can't you stop it, NYPD? Why can't you step in there and say enough is enough? Enough is enough. No. You steal and you go to jail. And with no cash bail, they walk right out the back door. So it's very, very profitable right now to walk into no more looting. You don't have to climb in a window. You don't have to break the glass. You don't have to come back at night. What they're doing is they're walking right in the front door. They're packing themselves up, grabbing whatever they can, and walking right out the motherfucking front door, telling security guards that if you touch us, we'll call you racist. What are you, racist? Racism. Using racism to loot. You can't make this up, right? These are the times we live in, right? These are the times we live in. So here's a Gucci store down in Soho. I know where that is. And I don't go into any of these stores because I got no interest in them, right? But I know where they are. Right? Bands, listen to this, man. Crazy. I have not seen this with my own eyes, and New York Post likes to stretch the truth a little bit. But let's see to what degree it's real. And maybe this might merit a little investigation on the ground. Go into Gucci and say, hey, anybody ripping off the fucking store? Anybody coming in here walking out with shit? See what they say. Bands of shoplifters are terrorizing Soho's high-end boutiques, lifting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of designer merchandise, and in some cases threatening security guards to keep quiet or be labeled racist, the Post has learned. So this is an exclusive Post story. I don't know if I believe it completely, but we'll find out more. The disturbing pattern began in late May during the riots that rocked the city in the wake of the George Floyd police custody death. High-end Celine was looted for $1.5 million of merchandise, and the blatant thievery continues every week in ritzy stores such as Prada, Moncler, Dior, Balenciaga. Fucking, oh man! So not only are there Jewish holidays, but there's also Arab Muslim holiday this weekend as well. I can hear them screaming out the window. They're chanting the word of God out the window right now. Quote, it happened every week. Walk around Soho on Wooster and Green, Mercer Street. You have huge bouncers out there trying to deter hit-and-run activity, a restaurateur said. I have not seen this with my own eyes, but I am definitely going to go take a look. But in some cases, the thieves are given carte blanche to steal. If personnel at the store, stop them and say anything in the store before they've left the building, then it often gets turned into a racial accusation. So they're in the store and they start grabbing everything in sight, but they didn't leave the store yet, so it's not thieving. And then they walk towards the door and they run the fuck out. That's what they're doing. Right? And if you chase them, it's crazy shit, right? Soho store managers, especially those employed by national retailers, remain tight-lipped for fear of the R word. R word reprisal. Bad publicity or tarnishing their brand, the sources say. So a little glitch, right? So if you arrest a bunch of looters and a bunch of blacks ripping you off in Soho, then the consequences of prosecuting them and stopping them from doing what they're doing is worse than letting them go and take the merchandise. That is some crazy shit right there. That is just fucking nuts. NYPD Sergeant, founder of the Blue Lives Matter New York City, told the Post that investigators are aware that the mobs of young transient groups have bulldozed through aisles, grabbing as much as their arms can hold. Just when you thought it was over, right? Soho store managers, especially those employed by national retailers, remain tight-lipped. I'm sorry, I read that again. I forgot to move down. A law enforcement source confirms that dozens of larcenies have occurred. Okay, so it's confirmed. In recent months in high-end establishments in the neighborhood. The source told the victimized stores include Adidas, Fendi, and Burberry. All high-end shit. Not so much Adidas, but definitely Fendi and Burberry. The suspects create a stir. We're buffering, right? Oh, shit, we're talking about the radical left, and we're buffering. We're talking about the radical left, and we're buffering. Let me know if we're up and running, man. Good morning to you. Good morning. Yeah, reparations. So let me know if we're buffering over here. Give me a one if we got a green. Give me a green light. Give me a green light one. I saw some red in my face. I don't like talking to myself, man, because I'm a very lonely person. I can't really handle it. so I need to be talking to you. So suspects create a stir and grab as much shit as they can. In the latest incident, thieves twice plundered Montclair on Prince Street, which sells down jackets for nearly $2,000. In the first incident, 2 individuals grabbed nearly 24 down jackets. Wow, that's a 2 dozen. That's a 20. That's a 12, 24. That's a $48,000 heist. The business person told the Post. A few hours later, at 6 p.m., thieves snatched more than $50,000 in merchandise and sped off in a white Jaguar and a black Audi, the law enforcement sources said. So they're doing this shit right out in the open. The local restaurateur claims 6 to 20 people were involved in the second incident, and the heist included a lookout. Hard to make it up, man. So many stories here of looting. Quote, the NYPD works to prevent theft of all kinds, including commercial burglaries and grand larceny, by conferring with city businesses to promote physical protections and other... Yeah, but they're not doing it, man. NYPD is getting dissed, man. So the looters have advanced. They got Jaguars and Audis, and they show up in front of high-end joints and load up. And if you say anything to them, then you're a racist, right? A black security guard, right? What are you, racist, man? What are you, Uncle Tom? What are you, for the whites? That's what they tell you. Gucci, what are you, anti-black? You anti-black. This is reparation. This is blacks getting what's due to them. That's what it is, or is it just fucking stealing? It's just straight out stealing in our country, right? So a very unknown fact. This is scary and real, very real, confirmed by many Chinese in this world, in this country, that what is going on here is very real. So just for example, U.S. cracks down on Chinese companies allegedly importing hair of prisoners. Hair. Look at this shit, man. Hair. That's fucking human hair. Who has time to grow all their hair to get it chopped off? I certainly wouldn't, man. You'd have to pay me a lot of money to sell my hair. The U.S. is cracking down on several Chinese companies, and you'll see how it leads into the notion of a Holocaust going on in China. Imprisoning people, killing them, chopping off their hair, selling their organs. The U.S. is cracking down on several Chinese companies that export human hair, an industry so lucrative, the product is often called black gold. Black gold. That shit is racist, man. It's just black gold. Why do they call it yellow gold? Because it's yellow people. Over fears the hair was shorn from ethnic minorities locked inside of China's terrifying intermedium camps. What? There's camps in China for the internments camps. Interments camps, whatever those are. The 2.5 billion I would love to go to China and see this shit, man. Right? But you won't get out alive. You won't get out without you won't get out. Right? If you go there and you try to break out your camera like you can do here, you won't get your ass kicked. You'll get fucking killed. They'll kill you, man. They put you in a room and the room disappears. Good luck. The $2.5 billion industry mostly includes hair products from Asia. So listen to this. From Asia, mainly from China, but the majority of imported Chinese hair comes from manufacturers in the country's far western region of Xinjiang. The area is where 2 million Uyghurs people, who are mostly Muslim and other ethnic minorities, have been detained since 2016. Sounds like the western region. It's probably like Tibet, or just above Tibet or below Tibet. That's what's going on over there. Right? So there's a Holocaust going on. They are detaining millions of people, torturing them by locking them into confinement camps, ultimately killing them, chopping off their hair, slave labor, forced labor. As part of a month-long investigation, CNN obtained trade data showing a surge in shipments of hair products from this particular area. Former inmates say they were tortured and abused at the camps, along with enduring electrocution, intrusive medical examinations, and forced sterilization. The inmates said their heads were shaved. Is it true? Yeah, sure, it's true. So once you sterilize people, they just let them. They don't kill them, but they work them to death, and then there's no more crop. There's no more new crop of these people that can't be controlled, and then they just usher in like the Han people or something and take over. Right? U.S. Customs Border Protection is now refusing exports of human hair from this region. And here you go, Wang Wenbang. A Chinese foreign minister spokesman said the crackdown maliciously smears the human rights situation in Xinjiang. Right? Maliciously smears the human rights situation? What human rights situation? So human hair. Check this shit out. Let's look at some pictures, man. Would you buy that shit? What would you do with it? Right? Make a mustache out of it? I don't know what you would do. I guess you make wigs out of it. Here's our guys doing it. So 13 tons of weaves. That's a lot of fucking... That's heavy. 13 tons of hair? You know how big that must be, man? Fucking hair doesn't weigh much. Worth almost $1 million. So China denies accusations of forced labor or detention of ethnic minorities. It's a Holocaust. They kill them off. They did it to the Tibetan monks. They chased them over mountains, knowing full well that most of them would, die, starve to death. The ones that got away squeaked out into India. They do it all the time, man. So where's the human rights? People crying, right? Oh, China, right? They support China. They want that cheap shit, man. That's the hypocrisy of our country. We'll deal with China, right? You're blaming like Venezuela, for example, for wanting to feed its people with, a socialized food program, a socialized fuel, right? Although they have corruption, it's not nearly as damning as it is in China. But in Venezuela, we'll sanction and squeeze their balls and testicles and make sure that they don't have a table, they don't have a seat at the international table. But China could exterminate 2 million people in slave camps because we want those cheap T-shirts. We want that fucking cheap hair. Because we're not going to grow our own hair. You know how many people were waiting for their wigs? Waiting for their fucking hairpiece? What happened, man? I'm waiting for my hairpiece. I'll pay. I don't care where it comes from. Chop it off a slave. No big deal, man. Just give me my fucking hair. Give me my cheap underwear, man. I'm used to paying $1 for underwear. I'm not going to pay no fucking $10 for underwear. That shit is stupid, man. That shit is stupid. So are we moving towards communism? Are we in a position right now where life as we know it is ending with the radical left and the radical right? There is really an argument to be made. I like this guy's take on it. I don't know if I agree with it, and it's open. It's open to discussion. So whenever a really radical group takes over, and the Democrats are seriously radical, they try to cement themselves in power. I've explained my reason for believing the Democrats are going to win, and it only takes a small number of people working as a charade to do it. I like to discuss what happens next. So I don't know if we believe this or not, but interesting facts to end on. At the time of the Russian Revolution, the hardcore Bolsheviks only numbered in the hundreds. That was enough to take control of 100 million Russians and stay in power for 70 years until they totally ran the wheels off the economy. The same thing happened for Fidel Castro in Cuba. He landed with only 50 or 60 guys, but once he took over the country, he was able to keep control of it. Serious populists, socialists, Marxists, and other authoritarians can pull that off because they're completely unbound by the conventional notions of morality. I love how the left calls the right authoritarian and the right calls the left authoritarian. I guess they're both both extremes are authoritarian. It's our way or the highway, pretty much. And they none of them have any moral compass whatsoever. They sincerely believe the ends justify the means. Yeah, like you're seeing, looting is now legal. Shoplifting is okay. Shoplifting justifies the means by us taking from the wealthy and redistributing it to us who are not as wealthy. Then that's justified. It's not like they're walking those, they're selling those $2,000 coats and then walking over to the food pantry with their money. No, they're buying fucking Jaguars and Audis is what they're doing. So they always say they're working for the people and inevitably promise lots of free stuff. Democrats, which is a sham anyway today. If the positions discussed by the 20 final contenders for their presidential nomination in the primary are any indication, the Democratic Party has been completely captured by leftists like AOC and her Gang of Four, who really want to change the very nature of the U.S. If they win, they'll be able to do so. I tend to not believe that the Democrats are unified in anything. I think that there's a large, influential fraction of the crazy Democrats, the lunatic left, that really doesn't trust the Democrats any more than they trust the Republicans, but they'll go along with it so that they could somehow, someday, seize power. And maybe that's the power they're talking about. But a lot of that's, in my view, healthcare for all and such is a good thing. Green New Deal. Parts of the Green New Deal, right? So we're not burning a hole. How will they ensure this to happen? How will they ensure the takeover? Right? Here's three interesting points. First, it seems almost certain that the Democrats will make both Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico states. Wow, that's a good strategy. Yes, they have said that. There will then be 104 senators voting, and they will without question be left-leaning Democrats. That will also help assure control of the Electoral College, assuming it's not abolished, since it will have two more reliably Democratic states. Now, this is a good theory, but what happened when Obama was in office? They had the House, the Senate, and the executive branch, and they still couldn't get anything done. They still couldn't get health care for all. They still couldn't break up the banks. They still couldn't reduce taxes for regular people and hold the oligarchs to their tax bracket. They still couldn't get money out of politics. So why is this any different? Why, if they pack the court, which is the third point. Second, the 20 million undocumented people, illegal aliens, now in U.S. will undoubtedly be made citizens. They lean heavily towards the Democrats. Not really true, but let's leave the third one. They'll expand the size of the Supreme Court and pack it with leftists. So any new laws they pass can't be challenged effectively. So at this point, I'll say that this article is kind of bullshitty because we've seen all these things in action. Are we living in a different time, a more radicalized time, where if Democrats do in fact seize House, Senate, and executive branch, that they can't be stopped? There's no precedence for that. They generally just roll over for whatever the corporations tell them to do. Remember, the leftists that you think of, the guys burning buildings in New York or burning down Washington, California, and Oregon, are not necessarily in line with the Democratic politicians like Nancy Pelosi. They'd like to see all those fucks burn just as fast as they'd like to see Trump burn. So anyway, I'll just leave it there. There's one other thing. These things would cement. There could be more, of course. They're saying that they'd abolish the Second Amendment. They would usher in, pharmaceutical. They would usher in universal health care, right? I'll say it's all, man. I lost my train of thought on that one, man. But I don't know. It it definitely brings up the idea that we are in radical times. There is a disbalance as a result of this coronavirus thing, where power vacuums have opened up. You have politicians dictating religious freedoms here in New York City and elsewhere. You have a kind of a seizure. I'm wearing a Hare Krishna shirt again. I'm wearing my same Hare Krishna shirt. Can't believe the feeling, right? And am I going to walk around one day and say, sir, excuse me, sir, you get pulled over by the thought police, and they say, sir, that is you're too old to remember the times where there was. We understand that you're old enough to remember religious freedoms in America, but we're living in different times. So you are going to have to take off that shirt. You're going to have to take off that shirt because that's religion. Christian is a religion. Like fucking religious kooks, right? So they say. So anyway, Mark's Conte reporting. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Sterling Price is in the house. Thank you for moderation. Vinny DiMartini on the wrench as well. C. Dento, Sassafras, Joseph Pauletti, Dan Worth, Me So Hungry is here. I'm fucking hungry right now, man. I'm gonna eat something. C. Bradley. Who else? Dan Worth. What's up, Dan Worth? Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Ban nothing. Ban everything. Is here too. So have a happy Sunday today, and if you're Jewish, enjoy the holidays. Get out there, get into the temple, and get busy. Get busy doing Jesus.